Bill. Yeah, you did. Here you go. All right. That's right. Oh, there we go. Thank you, James. All right, we're all set. Welcome, everybody. It is 9 o'clock on Wednesday morning, and we are here for 1MillionCups Fairfax. So we're going to go ahead and get started. Welcome, everybody in the room and online. There we go. So 1MillionCups Fairfax. We are actually sponsored by the Kaufman Foundation. The Kaufman Foundation works with communities around the country, sponsoring talking about entrepreneurship and education, increasing opportunities so that people can learn to take risks and to own their own success. So it is both a national and local mission. There are over 120 chapters around the country. And it gives, certainly from a local standpoint, the opportunity for each local area to take advantage of, meeting every Wednesday at 9 o'clock. There are 4 pillars that we are focused on. We are presentations, not pitches. We're about authentic connections and not networking. We are run for the community and by the community. And we are radically and intentionally inclusive. So, visitors, do we have any visitors in the room?
New visitors.
New visitors.
New to on-site.
Yeah, new to on-site.
Yeah.
All right, so nobody new, anybody online? I guess I can't see anybody online new.
I think we're good.
I think we're good. All right, so we're all veterans here, so great to have everybody. If you would, you've heard this before, and what we'd like you to do is scan that QR code. Our goal here is we're trying to hit an average of 30. Oh, I like to see that, all those cameras going up to register.
Don't take it down.
Oh, no, we'll give you a second, John.
I'll punch you.
For those camera challenge, we'll keep it up for a second. Oh, we're good. All right.
I'll punch you.
All right, John's good. We will see that again. So if you miss it, we will bring that up again.
Okay.
All right. All right. So this doesn't happen by accident. We had this run by volunteers, as you heard before. Here are all the volunteers. Yes, it's the top 8 most wanted list right here for organizers. And if you'd like to join that list, you could be on that list as well. Scan that QR code again to check in, just in case you missed the last ones. All right, so we have 2 sponsors. We have the location sponsor, the George Mason Enterprise Center, and Jen is going to talk about George Mason Enterprise Center.
Good morning and welcome, everybody. Great to see you here Wednesday morning. Just a reminder, first Wednesdays, we meet at Mason Enterprise Center in their training room because they are our space sponsor. We love collaborating with them. They have over 100 business owners. Many of them have presented at 1MillionCups. If you are looking for virtual office space, if you are looking for physical office space, there are still a couple of spaces left. What's unique about them is they have over 24 dedicated mentors to their business owners. So if you're trying to get into GovCon, if you're trying to navigate the current administration, if you're trying to scale your business, HR, finances, any of those topics, they have someone who can help you as long as you are a member. So please check it out. Eddie Hill has been a fantastic partner for us. We love being here at the Mason Enterprise Center. And so reach out to Eddie. You can see an email on the screen. You can also visit mec-fairfax.org and learn more about what is going on at the MEC. With that, I'm going to hand it back over to John, and he's going to talk about Green Fair. If you wanted to see other faces today, it's not happening.
Oh, thank you, Jen. Yes, talking about Green Fair. So Green Fair, we are the coffee sponsor today. We brought some coffee, also some muffins. Green Fair is the only educational restaurant in the country. And what I mean by that is we're a full service restaurant, open 6 days a week, 11 to 7, have a full menu. But what we really specialize in is optimal health. So we run a number of programs throughout the month, talking about different topics, all health related. We'll do movie reviews, book reviews, and that sort of thing. If you come into the restaurant, it's like coming into a library. And all of the books in the restaurant, the authors of those books have all spoken at the restaurant. The other thing we do is we run a 21-day Kickstart program once a month. So for 21 days, you get 42 meals, 4 classes, and at the end of the 21 days, we see an average of a 20% drop in cholesterol, drop in weight, drop in blood pressure. The other thing that makes us unique is that we're 100% organic, we're a whole food plant-based, and we don't cook with any additional salt, oil, or sugar. So our goal is just to help people towards optimal health. We are thrilled to be, the coffee sponsor today. Oh, by the way, if you come to Green Fair, you get to try mushroom coffee. So I didn't bring mushroom coffee today, but stop at the restaurant. Yes, sir. Now. So with that, love to see you at the restaurant. Thank you for the opportunity to be coffee sponsor. So how our meetings work. How our meetings work. We are going to go ahead and bring our presenter up in just a second. We ask that you mute your mics, make sure that so we don't get any feedback. And then at the end of that, we'll have a Q&A session, and you'll be able to raise your hand virtually or in person, and then you'll be called on. And so easy enough. All right. So with that, this morning, we've got Andrew Colsky with Be Picked. Looking forward to Andrew's presentation. I've had the privilege to have coffee with Zoom coffee with Andrew. It was great to meet him in person. And this is going to be an exciting, formative presentation. Thank you, Andrew.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you for having me back. Some of you may have seen, it was about 6 weeks ago that I gave a presentation about this company, Be Picked. And I've had the opportunity to come back now and show you sort of a beta test version of where we're at. And at the end, I'll be looking for people who might want to be beta testers. Some of you told me before, and I have you on a list. Any new people who want to be beta testers, we'll give you that opportunity. So let me just tell you real quickly what is Be Picked. I'm an attorney, I'm a mental health counselor. I've always had sort of professional services practice. And in order to have that, you got to get out there on social media. You got to try and grow your company. And so I learned all this stuff that I had to do. And I also learned that it took me hours and hours and hours of time over and over and over. And I just didn't have the time to do that and run the business and do everything else. I said, it's just not possible. So with the advent of AI and all the other tools that we have now, I said, let me see if I can automate this. I took what I did, I automated it, and then I realized, well, other people in my same position may want to do that too. That's what got us to where we are today. So today, the challenge question is the credibility generator a tool that you can't live without? And the credibility generator, I'm going to give you a presentation of it in just a minute here. It is the automated tool that I built. Basically what it is for me, and from an MVP situation, my audiences were YouTube, the second biggest search engine out there, LinkedIn, Google Business Profile, and blogging. And that's how I would get my message out. So I have one message that I can then put across multiple platforms, but I didn't have time to do it all myself. So I built that into the credibility generator. You'll see what that is. You'll see that something that took me multiple hours a week now takes me a couple of minutes. So I will be curious to hear your answer to that question as I show the presentation. Excuse me. So real quick, the timeline. I'm at a point now where we're getting ready to do the beta testing of the MVP. We got plenty of new stuff we want to add later, but we got to get started with the first thing. So I started this about a year ago, and now we're at that point. So that's where we are today, and we operate purely on the web. There's no need for physical office. So problem we solve, we automate the process of distributing social media content on a client's behalf so that they build credibility and own their niche. With new AI search engines, if you don't have yourself set up to be found by them, you're missing out. And the sooner you start getting out there. It's kind of like earning interest on your investments. The sooner you start, the bigger you grow. And if you're not out there, someone else is. I'm fortunate that I've built a lot of stuff in the background, so I get calls from clients all the time. Oh, ChatGPT said that you're the one to talk to. But I went on AI and they said, you're the only one I should call. That's nice when you get that. So with that, excuse me, maybe I'm going to go into the actual presentation and just give you a taste of what the credibility generator does. So share the screen here. Okay. There we go. All right. So it's not pretty right now. We're just at functionality. But when you come into the credibility generator, it's going to look like this actually. Okay. So you come in and you will have set yourself up already to link to your LinkedIn account, your YouTube account. We give you a full directory listing on a directory site, which gives you reviews and post articles and all sorts of things, complete directory. We also have you set up to your Google business page and to a blog site so that when you create a blog, it goes to something called WIN2E, which stands for what I need to understand is. So when clients need to understand an answer to a question they have, they can go there and they can find blog articles that were all generated here about different topic areas, depending on what your situation is. So when you first,
Sorry, guys.
when you first come into credibility generator, you're going to see this big green button, generate new content. So now you've already, in this case, I've already said to it that I am doing social media marketing. Okay. So I click generate new content and immediately it's going to give me these, there we go. It's going to give me these weekly quick pick prompts because the question is always, well, what do I write about? Well, the idea here is you need to have information that the AI engines are going to be looking for and that your ideal client is going to be looking for. So we scour the web weekly and we say, here's the top types of questions that people are asking about your field. Would you like to write about any of these? You can always put your own in. But in this case, here's 5 top questions. Now, as we go forward, I'll show you, I chose one of those questions. And then it comes down and it gives me the opportunity to choose what type of article I want to write. So I've got, about 12 different types: ultimate guide, how to, case study, product review, listicle, all these things. You choose what you want. After you choose the type of article, you then choose the tone, and you'll see we have about 10 different tones. So professional, inspirational, minimalist, sarcastic, and playful. Whatever, you can always mix it up. And then once you choose that, you've got your final subject matter there and you hit generate content. Now in final subject matter, if you had your own that you wanted to use and not one of the top 5, you would just type in whatever it is that you wanted to use there. You'll hit the generate content, you'll get some beautiful elevator music to dance by, and then up comes 3 ideas. So you read through the ideas and you decide, is one of these the thing that I want or not? If it is, you choose the one that you want and it will create the prompt for you. If you don't want to choose one of those, you can write your own. And again, you hit generate an outline. Once you generate an outline, you'll get the beautiful elevator music again for a few seconds. And then what will come up is, there we go. So you now get an outline. So the idea here is we all hear people talk about AI slop, just stuff that AI pops out. Everything here is built human in the loop. So we use AI to help get you started, and then you do your own twist on it. You do what you want. Some people choose to leave it as is. Some people want to go and make modifications. So when you get this outline, you'll see it's got a title, it's got a meta description, it's got a featured prompt. It's gonna create a picture for you, and then you get the outline, and the outline gives you the intro and then the different subject headings, and all these things you can edit as you wish. And again, this is just the outline that is created. Once you're good with the outline, you're going to come down to another button. I'm going to come to in just a second here. Oh, also, I want to point out, we add frequently asked questions. Why? Because that's what AI looks for. So we take questions tied to the subject matter. We give a response that's geared towards the right length and style to be attractive to AI. So now we're maximizing that ability for you to get found by AI. So once you are good with that, then it comes down, and there we go. There's the button approve, and it goes forward, and now it's going to write your blog article for you. So another little bit of elevator music, and up is going to come your article. Just a second here. And it's giving you instructions all along, telling you what it's doing. Second now. There we go. Okay, so you get an article. You can download it, post it anywhere you want, but through this system, it's going to give you the option of a couple different images. You choose the image you want, and then it gives you the writing of the article. Now you'll notice in the headline of the article here, this says, it's going to come back down in a second. This says top 10 ways authentic interactions build a loyal community in Washington, D.C. Now we specifically tie it to the locale where you are, again, for AI purposes, because the more specific you are, the more detailed you are, the better off you're going to be found in that particular area. So we take all this information, we put it throughout everything we're doing to make you attractive to AI. Here's your article. Again, you can edit this any way you want to, but it gives you a background. Again, you see the FAQs are there. And then we say save article and continue. Now, once I hit save article and continue, it's going to generate that and automatically post it to Win2E and automatically categorize it. So your article is out there to the world. It then will continue, and it's going to generate the next thing here, which is, here we go, Google Business. So this gives you a posting for Google Business. Again, you can change it any way you want to. But once you do that, you click, hang on, I'm trying to stop here. Okay, you click post, it'll go to your Google Business profile, it'll post it, it'll give a link back. Now, the reason that we give you that directory website in the first place is because you have your own directory listing. So when you put an article out, when you put any of this stuff out, it's going to link back to, if you want to talk to this person, link back, go to their directory listing, and you can contact them and find them. So now here's your LinkedIn post. It gives you that same image you've chosen. And it'll give you the post. Again, edit it as you wish. Once you're good, you hit post, and it will automatically post it to your LinkedIn site. Then you come to the next part, which is your YouTube. You can create avatars of yourself, or you can use any of, in this case, you see 471 pre-built avatars. In this particular case, I think I used an avatar. Let's get it together. I think I chose. So here's a sample of some of the pre-built avatars. Now, each of these avatars, if you open it, it'll have like 15 different choices of scenarios and things they're in. But you know, you can see it's 79 pages worth, and this is always being updated and always being added to. But you can create your own avatars. You can create your own backgrounds. You can choose, do I want a headshot, a 3/4 shot, a full body shot, and your body and things will move depending on how big of a shot you chose. It uses your own voice. And then in this case, you can see it gives you the language and the script for the YouTube video. We intentionally keep it short because people don't watch the long ones. They all watch the short ones. And remember, we're not trying to create the hottest trend video out there. We're trying to put the content that your people want to hear and provide informational. So if your video gets, 70 to 100 views, you're right on point. You're not looking for 1 million views. So you go ahead and you click continue. And then what it's going to do is it's going to go and it's going to generate the video of you, if you chose your own avatar, in the background. This takes about 10 minutes. And then you end up with a video of you talking and reading what it is that you put in the script. And then when you're good with that, you go ahead and you click the next button, which is approve and post. And then it will automatically post it to your YouTube account. And then you are ready to restart. So that is the MVP version of the credibility generator. It takes all that work that I was doing manually to research SEO terms, to write a script, to sit down and record the video, to edit the video, to go and publish it and pull in the titles and pull in the meta descriptions, hours and hours of work. And I'm just clicking buttons now and it's done all of that for me. So that is the credibility generator as it stands right now. I'm going to stop and take questions.
All can fit. Good morning and thank you. There. Okay. Thank you so much. It was a great presentation. We're excited to be one of your beta testers. So we're gonna start taking questions. We please raise your hand online or come over to the line here if you're in person. Hi. Very good.
This is really exciting. So congratulations for doing all of that automation and that work.
Thank
My question is, where does as it's generating content for you, you talked about how it's going out to make the content relevant to the outside world. How does it understand your content and how you think about things to represent your thoughts in that context?
Yeah, and that's a great question. And so remember, this is version number 1. Version number 1, what we're doing is we are going out to the web with a particular query looking for the types of questions that your ideal client profile would be trying to get answered. From there, once we find that, because there's certain questions that the majority of people are asking. So we find that and then it generates a script. Now that's why we leave human in the loop, because if you want to alter that script in a way to match your particular needs or things, it's there for you to do that. Future versions, I hope to have the ability to have you put in your own voice, so it will then write in your own voice, but that's version 2. Yeah.
I have a basic question, but maybe, sorry, missed listening to. What's the revenue model? Because I love the challenge question of like, is this something you can't live without? Yes, that's always at a price. So what is that like? And again, you're an MVP, so maybe that's unknown, but I guess number 1, is there like the price point to enter to play, and is it like a subscription or some other model? Okay.
Yes, excellent question. And this is something that I've been struggling with trying to figure out. But right now, the concept is a subscription model. So like any other software service, you would come in. Probably I'll have 3 tiers. The difference in the 3 tiers would be how many rounds you get. In other words, when you saw me run through this thing, that was a full round of content. Ultimately, later, we'll let you kind of pick and choose cafeteria style, but right now it's a full round of content. So the ideal is to create about 3 rounds a week if you're going to really be found out there. Now, you see how long it takes to do 1 round, so you can do whatever you want. But I'll probably have an entry model that will be maybe 1 round a week, and I'll have medium, which will be 3 rounds a week, and then I'll have the super user who can have unlimited, something like that. So it'll be a monthly subscription. When I went out doing market research and what live people do if you hire them to do this for you, which they can't really do a video view very easily or other things. The prices that I am seeing on the low end, about $2,500 a month, closer to $5,000 a month and up. We're talking, I don't have the exact price yet, but a couple $100, low end, couple $100. That's what I'm looking at.
Do we have any hands in online? All right, you're up, 10,000.
I love your tool. Come on back.
Thank you.
Which AI platform are you pulling from, and what's the most recent content that you're accessing? Because I know depending on price points for different AI platforms, you only get access to certain timeframes of data. It's not necessarily most recent, so I can speak to that a little bit. And I love the interface, and I love the way you're thinking.
Thank you. Thank you. So right now, we're using ChatGPT. The reason for that is because we need the images and also the content. Personally, I've been learning a lot about Claude. I like Claude a lot, but it doesn't do images. Thanks. So ChatGPT is what we're using in terms of the most recent version. That's a great question. We're using the most recent version of ChatGPT. How far does that go back? I don't know. I have to
The
find out.
free version,
No, this is a paid version.
enterprise or
Enterprise. Yeah.
Any questions online?
I have more question. John has a question.
All right, John, go ahead.
So Andrew, this was awesome. I guess my question is, there are thousands of small law firms that meet your ideal customer. So how do you figure out how to approach them?
So that's an important question, obviously. What I have been doing, just so you all know in the background, I've written a book called Left of Trust, which describes all the psychology behind what I built here and why it's built the way that it's built. That's available for pre-order online now, but scheduled to launch September of this year. I have a podcast that I do weekly that has been getting good traction. From that podcast, I put out social media clips on LinkedIn, on YouTube and places. I also do a blog, and now what I'm going to start to do once I get past this beta test version is go out and start speaking to bar associations and other lawyer groups. What I have seen, that the reason this whole thing started, real quickly, I'm an attorney. I had a license in Washington, D.C. that was inactive. As the government was changing and I was seeing the writing on the wall, I said, I'm going to go back and reactivate my license in DC. And I reactivated my license in DC. And when you do that, you have to take this 2-day class. One of the days is all about building a practice, advertising a practice, getting your practice out there. And there were about 30 lawyers in the room of all different ages, of all different backgrounds. And when that person started to speak about, you got to have LinkedIn, but you got to, build out a LinkedIn profile. And she said, I know someone who can help you build a LinkedIn profile. 30 lawyers lunged out of their chairs. Give it to me. I need it. And that's when I saw, okay, this is something that people need and they want. And that's what got me started to build this thing in the first place, in addition to the fact that I needed it myself. So that's where I'm planning on starting. I'm also trying to get out there in interviewed by news organizations and online, et cetera, et cetera.
Thank you. Great, by the way.
Thank you.
Great.
You're
John.
I'm Yeah. Have to get in front of the camera.
What up? So my question is, you mentioned you want to do 3 price models, and that's fine. Let me ask you a simpler question. If you were a client, how much content do you think you have to post on a weekly basis to find success? Because I might pay $100, get one post, in 6 months, get no clients, go this waste of money and cancel. So you're setting the floor below what maybe defines success. So I'm just gonna challenge you to think about your pricing model, and maybe you have a thing that says, here's a formula for success, two posts, one video, and this, and that model, anyway, something to think about.
Yeah, no, and I appreciate that, and I'll explain my current thinking. What I've learned through all my research is at least 3 rounds a week. Is sort of the optimal to keep you going, because AI loves consistency, not, 50 posts at the beginning of the month and then nothing, but regular consistent posting. The other thing is, if you do 1 a week, most of the attorneys out there that I see, they do 0 because they don't know what to do. They don't know how to do it. They don't understand how to set up a social media account. They don't have the time. And a great way that I exemplify that is I will go into the computer live in front of the audience and I'll say, okay, let's look up divorce attorney Washington, DC and see what comes up. And you're either going to get nothing, or you're going to get one really bad video, but it's the only thing that's out there. So do you want to have something, or do you want to have nothing? Because again, it's like money, it grows with interest. So I'd rather do 1 than none, but I'd rather do 3.
But what if it doesn't move the needle?
Well, it's not designed to move the needle immediately. It's designed to, when you put $10 in the bank, you're not going to have much at the end of the year. 10 years from now, 20 years from now, it's going to be a very different story. So we're not looking for immediate, people rushing to you. We're looking to build your credibility over time, so you become the one that AI search engines say, oh my God, this person is the one, because they've got all this content and they talk about what we're looking for. All right.
All right, Melinda, come on over.
I'm always an out of the box kind of person. And one of the things that your question said is, this is a tool that I've got to have. And I think that your tool is perfect for piloting the lawyer industry. And I think you've got a gem that you could probably license it to other industries and get a lot of money back licensing, so it won't take as much work to do it. But I started thinking agencies, PR agencies, advertising agencies, all sorts of agencies. And then I just started thinking about the world as it is. Have you named your product? I mean, where there's a character like ChatGPT or something like that?
Well, it's called the credibility generator,
Okay.
because it's designed to generate credibility online.
'Cause I was almost thinking, if you do something like that, license it, but license it with different names.
Mhm.
So keep it where it has a separate brand and a separate profit center.
Yeah, no,
And
that's fantastic.
It's a natural.
I appreciate that. Yeah, it's, my goal is to start with attorneys, but it's already built out for most of the professional services, whether it be accountants or chiropractors, real estate, whatever. And I can put in whatever I want to put in. So for me, I put in marketing, social media. So yeah, it can cover, it's just a matter of what you direct it to.
You've also eliminated a position in agencies where they have the new college graduates just starting out doing a lot of what you're doing.
It could be.
It could be, but maybe positioned differently to teach them how to do it. Next person.
Thank you.
Sorry.
Great presentation, great demonstration.
Thank you.
There we go. 2 things. Building off of what Melinda said, because I saw the use case that you were going through, and I'm thinking, well, this is a tool that's targeted for law, the legal industry, and great for that, but it can also be in other industries, right? So think about that, because there's a lot of companies around here that are like, outreach focused, that need to generate a lot of content. So there's a lot of opportunities to kind of like, figure out another target area, whether it's business development or marketing for events and other things around the DC metro area. There's a lot of opportunity, a lot of market segment for that. And then in your model, I would say, since you're trying to generate revenue and get started, think about maybe a premium, like a freemium model. Where you have some kind of hybrid where you start, get them on board, get them hooked. I see a lot of software companies that are in this space, that's what they're doing now, they're finding something for free. And then they convert you over and they work on even converting. And there's different tactics for that, but that way you can get started on the revenue training, because you have a great product.
Well, I appreciate that, and actually, to your point, the way it's designed now is that it is a premium from the standpoint that you come in, you can set yourself up on the tool, you get a certain number of credits free. And then when your credits run out, you either have to buy more credits or you have to get a subscription.
Okay.
So that way you're already invested, you're already all set up, you know, you're already generating content. Why wouldn't you continue?
Great point.
Thank you.
Unless you don't. Hi.
Here come the hard questions.
Well, no, just some observations. So this tool is trying to do what I do for my clients. Right? So when it comes to personal brand, you're talking about taking expertise, what's happening in the market. A lot of it is forward looking, and a lot of it is creatively, intentionally designed with a specific person in mind. So as you're designing this, because I don't mind having a tool to use for myself or my clients as an agency.
Mhm.
But I would think about three things that I think might be missing right now. One would be, how do you provide enough inputs? And this came up a little bit earlier, maybe Rose brought it up, or Rudenberg actually. How do you capture the expertise of a person and the nuance of what's happening in a market or in an industry, such that your tool can come up with something that truly is unique and different and authentic? Because the challenge with a credibility generator is it's not authentic, right? You're pulling from existing content, but you're not layering in a person's point of view. So if you don't have a way to capture that, I think that would be helpful, and there may be a way to do that. Second, I would love to know about metrics. So how do you show metrics and performance of content and what's working? And third, so one of the things, like, I have one client, we post once a month, and that's actually all they need, because there's so much noise. Posting 3 times a week or 1 time a day actually doesn't work well for them. Once a month, they get thousands of views, and it's exactly what they want to say, and it's always with a real photo of them doing something. So I think as you're thinking about credibility generator, that authenticity piece and the trust you mentioned, how do you help your client or the agency or whoever's using it put in real photos of real people, like a real boy? Like, we want real content. That's what's really going to help people. So I'd love for you to think about those 3 things, because I think if you can do that, and maybe you're already working on those, I think that can really help position this as something that's different than AI tools that are out there or what other people are already using.
Yeah, no, I, those are all important things, and I appreciate that, and you're right, I mean, this is stuff that I'm thinking through. The individual expertise piece right now, that's where I talk about human in the loop, where you can go in and modify the articles to whatever it is that you want to be saying. So that's why that is designed that way, so that just, I mean, I could make it automatic, you don't even see it, but then it's just putting stuff out. In terms of how many times to post some things, totally up to you, you know. That's why we give the options. Metrics is a great one, because I've thought about that a lot. And what I don't want to measure is how many views I got on my video, because it's irrelevant. I want to measure, engagement. I want to measure, are you putting something out? Because most people are putting nothing out. And then ultimately, the real test is going to be, go to AI, ask a question that should lead to you, and do you show up? But that's not going to happen until at least a year or so, because you got to be building that background, you got to be building, all the background. So, so there's a lot of things that can be added, and that's a very important part of those things you mentioned. But again, I got to start with the MVP to see if I can get going. And so this is designed to help people get started and grow into something like live people like yourself, who can really do that next level of stuff. This is not designed to be you know, the be all end all. It's designed as, let's get you started, let's get you going, and let's get you growing.
That was awesome. I love all things AI. So we can, to an extent, do all this already, right? I think the value proposition for you, yeah, there's a time element in this. But for me to do all the things you just described, I've got to stitch things together to make it kind of work, right? The way that you just described it. And so I think from a value proposition standpoint, I think that's a big, I didn't see it here, maybe may well have been in your first presentation, Andrew, I don't know. But I think that ability to have one in-house platform that can kind of walk you through all of this stuff and do it seamlessly is a massive play. Second thing, I think, how far are you, how far away do you think you are from Rev 2 in this?
Well, I need to get the beta testing done. I need to get the first version out. I want to see if I'm getting income coming in. I already have a whole bunch of notes and things of what I want for number 2. But I don't want to put all the money in until I see if people want to use this.
How do we get on the beat? How do we become a beta tester?
There's a link that we put in the chat there. And you just put in your name and email and it goes right into my system so that then I can send out the info. For those of you interested in beta testing, you know, I'll let you know, you're going to have a YouTube account, a Google business page, a LinkedIn account, and to set up a listing in listing, because this uses all of that. And then I will send out an email to everybody saying, you know, I'll do like a webinar or something, walk everybody through getting themselves set up so that they can then start beta testing, and we'll have them keep notes on issues and things that come up, and then we'll have follow-up webinars where we can get all that information. And then I'm gonna have, and that's all free, there's no cost to any of this stuff. And then from there, I'm gonna have founders pricing. So the first 100 people, once I actually launch it, will get founders pricing. And then after founders pricing, then we'll go into regular pricing.
Awesome. Thanks, man.
Thank you.
It's very cool stuff.
Appreciate it.
All right, John, go ahead.
Thank you. Hey, Andrew, I love the messaging you just blurted out a few minutes ago about the starter kit. And it's really more, not necessarily only the words, but the positioning. Okay, as an entry level, if you will, for those who are, you know, all thumbs when it comes to social media, etc. And I just wanted to highlight that because those words resonate, and it differentiates you as well. And just to pile on to James's ego, his comments are absolutely on point. Typically, whatever he says is right anyway, but at this moment, you bet. Yeah, now, the value prop is key. Seamless. One stop. Yeah, very important in the messaging.
Right. I mean, the whole thing is really what I'm doing is I'm giving people time. I'm not doing social media. I'm giving them time.
Yeah, but you're really producing more revenue for them. That's what everyone, that's the outcome people want. Yes, time is important. They want revenue. Because now you can reallocate your time to your highest priorities. Golf or opera, it doesn't matter. Either works.
There you go.
So one little thing as other solopreneurs has struggle getting consistent content out. I don't think it's only time, because I have time. And it's not that, it's making that learning curve, reducing that learning curve, understanding, allow us to not have to learn every single platform, because it takes a lot of time, again, yes. But being able to break that glass and being able to come in and tell the world how we can help them is actually another point that I think you could lean on, because whomever is gonna be taking your platform can't afford someone like Jen yet. So it would be something that it breaks that fear factor into better understand, and then grow into a bigger branding. Thank you.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that, and that is exactly, you know, like I said, I built it for myself originally, and I'm a small business, I'm me. So I don't have the funds to hire all these other people that I need to hire to do all this stuff. And I needed something that I could just quickly do. But I spent all the time learning all the different platforms the hard way, so I just kind of automate.
Post online, we would love your questions. In the meantime, we'll keep coming up in the room. A few other thoughts came to mind. One is, I know for Google, and I also think for LinkedIn, they are starting to ding content that comes across as AI generated. I don't know the answer to this, and I don't know if James knows the answer. I'd be curious to know how much content flags that. Is it 80% of your content has to be generated by you? Are titles okay if they're generated by AI? But I think that would be interesting, and I think there's a different tier for people who, just to your point, want to get started, but then they want to have their own material. One other thought is, since you're also an author, there are lots of authors who have so much content in their books, they need ways to get content out of it for social. I'd love for you to think about, maybe that's a specific segment to consider. I think attorneys write books too, but if that's an input that could be provided, I'd love for you to think about, can I add in branding guidelines? So if it's going to create an image, does it have a logo on it or colors or things like that? I have lots of other stuff, but I already broke our rule of only one idea at a time. So I'll get back in line. But there's definitely, I'm excited to be a beta tester, if you don't mind me beta testing.
Sure. And we actually do have the ability for you to put your logo in for your content. And the bit about AI information. So there's a couple things there. Yes, we're working towards being able to capture your own voice, but that's why we give you the opportunity now to do it manually. The other thing is, think about this, the content that this is designed to generate is meaningful, basic content about certain things. We're not trying to capture the types of things that are most concerned to these places. We're just trying to get informational, basic content available to people in a very particular market.
So the heartbeat of brand awareness, and then you can elevate or add on great concept, but don't get stuck at the starting line because it's too overwhelming to start.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I think that's great messaging.
Thank you.
All right, Nicole, you're up.
Good morning. Love what you've got going on. It's a good start to where you're heading. I get it. I have a couple questions, and the first one is this intended to auto post, or is it just content generation?
Once you are good with the content and modify it the way you want, and you click the button, it will auto post it for you. You don't have to go do anything else.
Okay, so I would just recommend for Google Business that you become a third-party verified Google partner, because that's going to be important for you to make sure that you're covering all the bases there. And then in terms of social media engagement and content, I heard you say that you're not concerned with views. I think your audience will be. So views per the content that's coming out in comparison to how their views were before they started utilizing you. So think about that. But then also each of the different platforms has a different type of engagement. For on YouTube, it's video, obviously. But when you're thinking about LinkedIn versus TikTok or something like that, like the engagement style is different. Is this writing different for each of those different platforms? I'm sure it is, but I want to hear kind of like what your thoughts were about that. Thank you.
Yeah, no, good questions. So yes, the writing for the LinkedIn post is designed to be different than the writing for the blog, which is different from what we do for the YouTube video, but the concept is all the same. So that when AI is searching for that concept, it's finding you in all the different places. And then we had mentioned what's the other thing you said? Views and things. Yeah, so my point about views is we all hear about, oh my God, you went viral, you got 1 million views. Wow, this is great and wonderful. And then 2 seconds later, everybody forgot about you. I want to set the expectation for the people who I expect to use this, that views is not, if you didn't get like 1 million views, oh, it failed. If you got 30, 50, 70 of the right views, you are 70 people ahead of all the other people in your office building that got no views because they didn't do anything. So as long as you're getting consistent, like for me right now, what I'm putting out there is consistently getting between, I don't know, 70 and 300 to 400 views for each short. I'll take it. You know, I don't need 1 million. But it's so I want to set expectations for the audience as to what they should be looking for. It's good to be getting views, but don't expect to get it.
And then I would say to you in relation to that, think about that from the perspective of the person who's on the other side of it. You're saying this is a credibility builder, right? So you're generating credibility. Credibility comes from people knowing that you are what you say you are, and sometimes that makes sense to go broad rather than just the very few specific people who are willing to click, or we're busy, we don't have time to do that these days, so a lot of people are just viewing, and a lot of other people are just putting their bots out there and having them view it. So that's changing too. So okay, I'm done. Thank you.
Yep, thank you.
Linda, come on up.
Next question, trademark. Do you have things you can trademark so you can really own this?
So I can trademark my name and things like that, but the process itself is.
I'm just thinking so somebody doesn't come out, steal it. The big idea I had behind it is LinkedIn. You know how they have their sales? They need that PR that you could offer from the tool that they put on the tool. And again, licensing it, getting to the right people at LinkedIn/Microsoft. That might be a way to reach a lot of small business and all sorts of things.
It's an interesting thought. I hadn't thought about that. Thank you.
Recording in progress.
I'm gonna kind of piggyback on what Jen said and just that it is some thoughts, but I think that people more and more are looking for authentic and I'll speak to myself personally. I have someone on my team that posts on LinkedIn for me twice a week, and it is absolutely when I have featured something, like when I featured my granddaughter, that's when I got the most comments and the most likes. And so I think finding a way to be able to incorporate that personal side into it is going to be really important, because I do see this younger generation. And when I say that, I'm talking about my granddaughter's generation. They really are looking for more personal relationships as opposed to AI. I think there's a place for AI. I think you want to incorporate it. But I think that also being able to do something from a more human aspect is going to make your tool even better than what it is.
Yeah,
That would be my suggestion.
and I appreciate that. And I think you're right. I mean, clearly that does make it more amenable to people. The more personal you can be. The real basics here was the fact that. Think about the person who's got, in this case, we're talking about lawyers. Think about the person out there who has some legal problem that came up. Maybe they got some letter in the mail about, they owe back taxes and they don't know what to do about it. They're up at 3 a.m, laying in bed, worried about this thing, and they're on their cell phone, they're typing in on AI, what do I do when I got this type of letter, whatever. Those are the people that are the primary clients, and we want information to come up about, well, if you got a letter from the IRS and it talks about this, these are some of the options. I'm attorney so-and-so, and here's how I work with this or whatever. So it's really more of a mini commercial in a way, but you're addressing the specific question they have so that you show up on AI as the answer to that question. More so than, yes, it's great to have the personal piece of it. So once they look you up, they get to know you. So that's something, that we can look to try and pull in. But we're starting with that first piece just to be found when people ask that question.
Thank you so much, Andrew.
I guess we have a final question.
Oh, that's true. I didn't see it there, so.
There.
Wait a second,
Oh.
good lord.
There we go. That's the final question.
Final question. So Andrew, thank you so much for presenting for the second time. And this is very exciting to see an entrepreneur present as they keep working after the feedback that you receive. So what can our Million Cups community help you with today?
And I appreciate that, and you all have been very helpful all the way along throughout this journey. But my next step, what you all can do is, if you feel that this is a tool that might be meaningful to you, or that you might have some input on, the link, I guess you all can put the link in again. If you want to be a beta tester, just click that link. All we ask for is your name and email, so we can get you on the list, so then I can send out follow-up information. Love to have you test it, get your feedback from there. Are there going to be bugs and things along the way? Absolutely there are. That's why we do beta testing. So is it going to go smooth and perfectly? No, it's not. But then we get additional feedback like we got from here. So that's how you all can help me most, and I very much appreciate that.
Awesome stuff. Great. Thank you, Andrew.
Thank you.
All right, next week's presenter is Colleen Perlman. So definitely come back next week to help Colleen out. She's presented before. She's coming back with another challenge question. So why present? You saw what happened today. It's low stress. And, in Andrew's case, where he's looking at getting a product out. So, a little stress testing. You get feedback, and then also immediate network expansion. Meet some people, and one of the things that Andrew brought up was being consistent. And so by being consistent, showing up both here in person and online is a great way to expand your network. Upcoming events, there always have events going on, and we try to get information out there about all the events. It will be posted in chat. I'm pretty sure we get somebody who will post that in chat for everybody. There are a number of events coming up this week, and we've got some regular events like the BNI event that happens on a regular basis. Veterans Growing America also happens every week. So take advantage of those things from a networking standpoint. All right, so you see our schedule is actually fairly full. And so we've got, as I said, Colleen Perlman next week. And then we are full, all the way out through August. So if you'd like to present, September is, looks like it's the next available. Although we do have a hybrid in August, the first Wednesday in August. So if you're looking to present in person, there's a gold opportunity August 5th. And help us, get the word out. Scan that QR code. That'll take you to all the places that we are. And get the word out for us. We're looking to expand and continue to grow this meeting. Scan that QR code. And with that. Yep, last 10, we have that's the links. There we go. Check in one more time if you haven't. It's the QR code at the bottom. Stick around for a while. I got Jen.
Thank you, Andrew.
Yes, thank you.
Andrew, you will come back up here and collect your swag.
Oh, yeah,
John will give to you.
absolutely.
Swag.
I want a picture.
Presenters get 1MillionCups cups.
Yep. Oh, we got
On the
some
wrong
stickers
side.
here too.
Yes.
Take advantage.
I'm getting a
Thank
picture.
you so much.
Thank you, I really appreciate it.
Look at me.
Oh,
With it. Oh, yeah, I love it. Thank you. You got
All
it.
right.
Thank you, everybody. Have a great rest of your week. Fantastic job. Thanks to all of our visitors for being here. We'll see you next week.